make a noise, find themselves just boxed out of it, and they've had to go to the alternative on the right-hand side of the road. Some of those will thrive in the mountains, not so here. This is Kenji Iwamura for Vini Fantini. They have Mark Stewart or indeed Nencini later on. Mark Stewart's on his second choice bike. They're folding over the front. UE Team Emirates now just rolling over to the right-hand side of the roads as we look at it heads up, so left for them. And indeed, they're lined up really nicely. This is safety first for Brandon McNulty, our defending champion. Tim Bellens is in wheel 2 here, but they're thinking about Rui Oliveira, and he's got a fantastic opportunity here. Kern Farmer, who might it be for them a little bit later on? It's Paul Miguel. He's in a very good spot. It's a short-handed team. Check over the shoulder here from Rotem Tene. The Israeli champion, looking back, trying to pick out Oded Kogut. Can't see him just for the time being, but has begged him to come forward. And indeed, the men with the white shoulders on their treble blue kit are indeed there. He's just going to drift over and indeed be part of that lead-out train. It's open up to the centre whenever that happens. The teams like Maytech come into play. Hugendorn, Roy Hugendorn is there, man, with Ron Konings. But really, this is about Paul Magnier, Danny Van Poppel, possibly Campbell Stewart, maybe Rui Oliveira, Ben Turner most definitely. They are going to be the guys. Nancini, Mark Stewart will try and join the fun. Oded Kogut for Israel Premier Tech will be there. Bruno for Bardiani potentially. Let's wait and see. It's now. 2.4 kilometres to go. This is where the road just starts to shilly-shally ever so slightly. There's a bend to the right which they have just taken. It bends left then to reach the 2 kilometre mark, but the rises and falls are still there. This is about a roller coaster run in. In about 500 metres time, they'll take one of the most significant turns that they have to deal with that remain today. There are 2 more that they've got to get out of their heads. The next one will come with about 1700 metres to go. So best place to be would be potentially on the left-hand side of the road in order to take the right turn. And that's where the real estate is at a primary. And it's Ineos Grenadiers that are in that vanguard now. Everybody else is just slightly out of shape. Soudal-QuickStep keeping their powder dry just on the train of Ineos Grenadiers. But Paul Magnier is there. So is Dries van Gestel. 2 extraordinarily good riders, and especially in this kind of scenario. Here is that right-hander I was telling you about. They swoop through it. It's on the drop, though. And as a result, it gives a bit of drive to those who found themselves up front. Everyone else has got to make up ground. And here comes Soudal-QuickStep, marshalling themselves beautifully. Bahrain victorious with Zach Ertzen are here. Zambanini, Van Mechelen as well for them. Several options, but really there is one primary source. It's the same deal for Paul Visit Malta as Lonardi thinks about being in the place to go for a big one. 1100 metres, Flamme Rouge is approaching. With 800 metres, there's going to be a left-hander, and then indeed we'll have an unwind. It's time to go long for some. Van Mechelen decides that he's going to strike out here for Bahrain victorious. Everyone else saying no, no, no. You're not going to have that game to play all on your own. He's searching for Ertzen. Ertzen searching for him. Ertzen now cruising up. His lead-out man is now a spent force, as indeed they start to just ebb as others flow. Got very selective here, Brian, all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's Maestri bringing up Lenardi, but you can see that Turner is up into second place there. He's got Paul Magnier on the wheel, Van Poppel on the left-hand side. It's Maestri leading this one out.
Doing a brilliant job. Maestri waiting and looking for Lenardi. Maestri might have his own chance here. Turner decides to light it up. Meanwhile, swinging on the other side, Paul Magnier. Magnier versus Turner it is as the line starts to approach and living up to favourite status. Is he going to get there? Is he going to get denied? Oh my goodness, on the throw. It came down to the very last. Danny Van Poppel out of nowhere just came out of the slipstream of Paul Magnier. We will wait for the photo. I believe it was Magnier with Van Poppel, with Ben Turner in the frame. The 3 prime favourites of the day, almost sharing the duty at the line. What a finish that was. But it looks like Paul Magnier just had enough to hold off a late charging Danny Van Poppel at the line. Gosh, it rushed to us, that finish, Brian, but Magnier looks like he has taken it. We wait for confirmation.
Yeah, 100%. He wins another race. He's won his last few races, and 4 wins in Slovakia. He had a win in 4 Mays, and another win That's 15 wins that this man has got. He's only 21 years of age. So Soudal-QuickStep, he left it a little bit late coming up. He was going to push back a little bit. He had 2 teammates at the front, and he was shepherded up at the right time. He got himself on Ben Turner's wheel. Danny Van Poppel was next to him. Thankfully, Maestri was trying to help Lenardi, but it did creep up very, very quickly in that finish there. But yeah, another win for this young Frenchman. You can see it here, Maestri's leading out here, and Paul Magnier is on Ben Turner's wheel of in the kind of orange. Danny Van Poppel goes back onto it, Lenardi is there, and Kogut has been pushed back onto Van Poppel's wheel. But the long way around for Ben Turner, the quickest way round there for Paul Magnier, and Danny Van Poppel, he just came up, but it was quite easy in the end. Turner heading backwards, even Lenardi passes him, so it was a good half a bike in the end, with Kogut getting 3rd place.
Yeah, Lenardi in the frame there for Visit Malta. He'd really done the pacing as we came into the S's here. A little bit of shoulderage went down out there too. All fair in love, war and sprinting, but once indeed Maestri, I think Lenardi was just slightly out of position but did get the drive, was trying to pick wheels to follow as opposed to his own teammate, and as Maestri faded, others had to go round him. Ben Turner was one of those, went over to the left-hand side of the road, opening up the centre, of course, for Magnier, and slotting into the gap was Danny Van Poppel. Van Poppel at this point screened from view and then came into the fray, and it was always going to be on the throw of the line, and gosh, 1-2 more metres is what Danny Van Poppel needed, but Paul Magnier making it count, and in the end, from that shot, half a bike length advantage. So we have our leader. He'll be points leader as well. He's a young man. He'll be the young riders classification lead likewise. He's going to be bobbing up like a jack-in-the-box onto that podium. Good finish, Brian, and a beautiful day.
Yeah, quick finish at that one. It's just that S bend just before the finish there. You could see that Kogut took a chance coming up, and Kwiatkowski had to nip out the way very quickly there. He was finishing rather quickly. Not the best lead out for him, but not the best lead out, I would say, for anybody there. It did gel at the end for Soudal-QuickStep. They were a bit kind of divorced from each other in the run in, but you have to have your patience. You do.
I think the team are going to be the patients tonight, because Paul Magnier grabbed the radio and screamed "yeah" down there. I think he blew their eardrums. He blew everyone away, including Danny Van Poppel. Kogut in 3rd place ahead of Lenardi. Ben Turner finishing 5th ahead of Oliveira. Ertzen, Donaldson, Nencini and Gojkovic. Great winner here. Magnier is our leader after taking the opening stage here